Kicking off our Sunrise Smart Start in our headlines, Rochester police are reviving a call to action asking for the public's help to solve a quadruple homicide cold case from 2016. While investigators say they believe the murders happened over a dispute about drugs, they don't know for sure. RPD says they discovered 4 people in the attic of an apartment on Layton Avenue on the night of January 10th, 2016. All of those victims were shot and a fire was set to cover the evidence. Captain Frank Umbrino says the lack of witnesses combined with the fire had made the investigation even more difficult to understand. However, he says retired investigators who were assigned to the case remain invested, and new information has reignited the hunt for justice once again.
That's not something that you ever think that you're going to see in real life. And, this is one of those cases where you're like, wow, people should not have to see this, and people certainly should not have to go through that type of death. I think that whoever has knowledge on this over time, I think it has to weigh on their conscience, and you have to come forward and do what's right. Because again, whoever did this isn't their first crime, and it certainly wasn't their last crime. They need to get taken off the street before somebody else dies.
This investigation is ongoing, and again, anyone with information is asked to come forward. It's been more than 2 weeks since an emergency evacuation at the Hilton East Assisted Living Facility displaced 131 residents. Facilities across the greater Rochester Mutual Aid Network continue to provide care. At the end of December, fire crews reported to a roof collapse following a long stretch of snow, rain, and icy conditions. Back in May, public state data cited the facility for 7 violations, 2 of which were for disaster and emergency planning. While families of those in St. Anne's care have been able to retrieve some of their loved ones' belongings, a representative with Hilton East says there is no exact timeline for residents to return. An administrator we spoke with says Hilton East was able to take in only 5 of the residents impacted by the incident.
One of our residents was able to go to another assisted living, which is the right level of care for her. And we are continuing to look at other facilities that are the right level of care for the individuals we took in.
Carrie at St. Anne's also says when a mutual aid plan is activated, there will typically be a review of operations and feedback from all of the partners involved. She says improvements and adjustments will be made to ensure up-to-date best practices. The U.S. Marshals Service says a man arrested in Rochester on Monday is wanted in Wisconsin on homicide charges. Officials say an arrest warrant was issued on July 5th, 2022 for Carlos Roberto Santiago for first-degree homicide, possession of a firearm by a felon, and bail jumping in Milwaukee County. On December 22nd, the Eastern Wisconsin Violent Offender Task Force asked the New York-New Jersey Regional Fugitive Task Force to help find Santiago. Their investigation led to a surveillance of Monroe Avenue, where police arrested Santiago after seeing him walking around the area. Santiago has since been booked at the Monroe County Jail, where he's being held as a fugitive from justice. New this morning, Monroe County leaders are announcing their endorsement for Governor Hochul's re-election campaign. Rochester Mayor Malik Evans, Monroe County Executive Adam Bello, and Committee Chair Stephen DeVay all applauding her for her work to lower costs and boost public safety for all New Yorkers. This comes on the heels of Lieutenant Antonio Delgado continuing his State of the People tour, making a stop here in Rochester. While Hochul picked Delgado for his current position back in 2022, he has criticized her for her response to the Trump administration's new policies. At 9:30 this morning, he will be making an appearance at Jay's Diner. His team says Delgado will be available for questions from the press. Let's check in on our sunrise traffic report. That view from our Greater Rock Sky iCam showing things moving at speed. That's true for 390, 490, and 590. There are no accidents of note at this time. And a traffic advisory to tell you about starting on Thursday. A portion of St. Paul Street between Ward and Cumberland Streets will be one-way northbound. The southbound lane will be closed due to work on the underpass. The city of Rochester says the work is expected to be completed by Thursday, February 5th. Drivers should obey all posted signs and work zone speed limits. Monroe County's annual winter celebration will be held on Saturday. Winterfest 2026 will take place at Menden Ponds Park from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Families and residents are invited out for an afternoon of activities, local vendors, live music, and an appearance from Red Wings mascot Spikes and Mitzi. To kick off Winterfest, Fleet Feet and Yellow Jacket Racing will host hot cocoa races beginning at 10 a.m. The races include a half-mile race for children, a road 5K, and a trail 5K starting at Stewart Lodge. Runners are encouraged to register on the Yellow Jacket Racing website. James, we got to give the people a final check of the forecast.
Yeah, well, snow for the Winterfest, so that works out nicely. We have a high-impact snow event tomorrow, as snow will be around for the morning and the evening commute. So I think significant impacts across the region, slow go of it throughout your Thursday. But before we get to that, of course, we've got today, which really won't be that bad at all. We've got temperatures in the 40s, a couple of light rain showers around, and then that transition over to snow showers is going to be late tonight and then into tomorrow. You see we drop all the way down to the teens. Really just a rapid drop in temperatures into your Thursday. And then that heavy snow with more flakes to come by Friday and then into the weekend. So back to winter, you can see starting off tomorrow.
It's just so stark. 42 to 19.
Yeah, what a fall.
Gosh. And make sure to check out our podcast, Second Cup of Sunrise. I'll be there today along with Kayla Smith, airing every morning at 9 on the Rochester First streaming app. That does it for us on News 8 at Sunrise. Thanks so much for watching. Our next update is in around 30 minutes. CBS Mornings up next.
Follow News 8 wherever you are on RochesterFirst.com, Facebook, X, and on our app for news and weather. Get the Rochester First streaming app today for everything you love from News 8 on demand, plus exclusive shows you won't see anywhere else. Search ROC and download for free on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV.